Thing is to be known for discarding, the other thing is to be known for asserting. What we have to discard and what we have to assert, that will be the topic tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dve vidde veditavve tu shabda brahma paranchayat shabda brahmane nishnataha param brahmadigacchati. In Mundaka Upanishad, the Upanishad begins, Kasminno bhagavo vijñate sarvamidam vijñatam bhavatiti. What is that, sir, having known which everything becomes known? In reply to this question, the teacher says, Dve vidde veditavve parachaiva paracha tatra apara Rugveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakaranam, Niruktam, Jyotisham, Chandamiti. Atha para yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. This is the first and the second mantra, where the student asks, what is that one, having known which everything becomes known? The teacher says, not one, there are two things to be known. One is called as the Paravidya and second is called as the Aparavidya. Now what is the Para and Aparavidya? Aparavidya is pertaining to the relative world, which includes the four Vedas and the sixth Vedangas. So that is Aparavidya. And what is Paravidya? Yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. That by which the absolute self is recognized. That is the Paravidya. Here also the same tone. Dve vidde veditavvetu shabda brahma paramchayat. There are two types of knowledges to be recognized, to be known by the spiritual seeker. One is the Shabda Brahma and the second is the Parabrahma. What is the Shabda Brahma? Shabda Brahma is the one what we have seen. First of all, we lead a life of a decent human being according to the scriptural injunctions. Whatever are our positions in life, accordingly we live, so that there are no precipitations of regrets on our mind at the latter period of our life. In the old age, what troubles us the most is these two things. Why I did not go the right way when I was young. Second regret, why did I go the wrong way when I was young? The regrets of wrong commissions and right omissions. This is what is a big burden in the old age for everyone. Therefore, Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha. One has to have a proper, well-disciplined, responsible life. When this is done, the net result is the mind becomes relatively free from the loads of likes and dislikes. So, there is cleaning of our mind. Cleaning of our mind with reference to the likes and the dislikes. The likes and dislikes are removed by karma because When we are following the righteous path, we don't do the things because we like something or we don't like something. We do the things because they are ought to be done, therefore they are done. By this we transcend, cross, bypass our personal likes and dislikes. Then the second part, Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha, is self-discipline. Self-discipline is one of the most important thing in life. A person who is not disciplined, he can neither achieve success in the material world nor can he be successful in the spiritual world. That is achieved through the yoga. When these two things are done, here unknowingly our I becomes crystallized and very strong. To remove this I and unwanted poison created by this I, we follow the path of devotion. In devotion, this I is surrender. This is together called as the Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha. See, a healthy person doesn't mean he has got the biceps of the size of the thigh muscles. It's very healthy. No. One has to be healthy physically, mentally, intellectually, spiritually. Overall health, holistic approach. After this is done, then such a person is now fulfilled as regards the world is concerned. Then such a person is now subjecting himself for the inner journey, if we can call it. In that inner journey, as we have seen, first of all, one focuses attention on the sound, Shabda, Om. Then one recognizes that in the silence we go beyond the sound and the hearing ability and we come to the mind. After we come to the mind, then there the problem is about the different qualities and quantities of thoughts. Now we bypass that and come to recognize that these thoughts have no impact on us unless we give importance to them. In this manner, Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha. This is the scheme of spiritual life. Therefore, these two things are worthy of knowing. One is the relative world, second is the absolute being. The relativity is discarded through knowledge and wisdom by transcending the relativity, and then we come to the Param Brahma Adhigacchati. Adhigacchati means comes to recognize. This particular root, which indicates motion, is used for knowledge. So Adhigacchati, he comes to know or recognize the Param Brahma. This is how, these are the two aspects in our spiritual life. Lead the relative life in such a manner that relativity is no more a problem thereafter. Then alone we can focus attention on the absolute. If we have not done this thing, then what happens? We sit for meditation and the problems begin. Whenever I sit for meditation, there are too many dirty thoughts coming. What is the reason? Meditation is the reason. Therefore, stop meditation. See? So these two things cannot be compromised. So dve vidde veditave tu Shabda Brahma and Parabrahmam Chayat. Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha. Therefore, one has to transcend this relative world. How do we transcend the relative world? Thoughts erupt always about something which is not self. Like eyes can see something which is not the eyes. Eyes can see everything in this world except themselves. The same thing is applied to the mind. Mind can think about something which is other than the mind. And therefore, the mind doesn't want to think about itself. The mind will disappear. So how the mind continues its existence? These three parameters, what we saw yesterday, either the mind is engaged with reference to time, that is the food of the mind. So what the mind does, either it goes in the past and feeds on yesterday's leftovers. See? There are many people, they eat the leftover food. They like it very much. One of my friend, he is a Gujarati living in South Africa, and his breakfast is very peculiar. His wife prepares a bunch of chapatis, all of them as if they are machine made. Gujarati chapatis are papad thin. You can eat 25 and yet you feel you have not eaten anything. Therefore, whenever I go to Gujarati house, I tell, don't make Gujarati chapatis. Gujarati chapatis are papad thin, and Gujarati puris are size of the button of the shirt, you know. The idlis also they make so small, you know. So you can eat the idli with a spoon, 20 idlis in one spoon. So what he does, he tells his wife to prepare chapatis. They are kept overnight. And next day morning, he will take a big container of tea, typical Gujarati tea. In that, more than the tea, everything else is. Tea leaves are very little. And then the masala, mirch and tadka, everything is there. And after the tea is prepared, then he will cut, those chapati into small pieces, put into that. That becomes his breakfast. See? Leftovers. In the same manner, in old age what we do, we bring out the leftovers. जब हम जवान थे तब की बात है. And you will see the old people, when they talk about their past, they get inspired and the listener gets perspired. Oh God, again this fellow has started. This is how the mind survives. See. The second way the mind survives is going in the future, worrying over unwanted things. And therefore such a mind which is preoccupied either with the past or the future, where is the possibility for the mind to disappear? On the contrary, we are strengthening the illusion of mind. That day when we will come to recognize that mind is an illusion, it is not the reality, the whole life will change. Like the light in the bulb, it is useful, it shows the world. That does not mean it is real. Reality is electricity. Exactly the same phenomena. In place of the bulb, keep yourself. In case of the electricity, keep the absolute conscious reality. So, when the absolute reality is able to allow, rather is able to express through any body as mind, then that body becomes enlivened. Any bulb, when it is in connection with the electrical energy in a particular condition and allows the electrical energy to express as light, then that bulb is called as live bulb. Others are fuse. Exactly the same way. When the conscious principle is able to express as mind, then the body becomes enlivened. See, mind is the manifestation of consciousness in body, and life is the manifestation of mind in the body. See? So when a bulb becomes fused, nothing has happened anywhere. Electricity continues to be, the world continues to be, the light in the other bulbs also continues to be. So when one bulb becomes fused, what has happened? Nothing. Apply the same principle. When the consciousness stops expressing through my body as mind, this body will fall, drop dead, then nothing will happen to consciousness, nothing will happen to you. Life continues. See, therefore, when we recognize that this mind is just an expression of absolute reality through the body, where the consciousness cannot express as mind, that world is called as inert world. There the consciousness is unable to express as mind, but that does not mean that there is no consciousness in the inert world. There is. See, like when the electrical energy is flowing through the wires, there is no light there, but doesn't mean that there is no electricity. When the bulb is fused, doesn't mean there is no electricity. It is the inability of the bulb to allow the energy to express as light. Exactly the same way. Everything is existing in pure conscious existence. Those conditionings, those upadhis, where the capacity of the upadhi determines the expression of the energy. If the upadhi is the mic, there won't be light coming out of it, but there will be amplification of the voice. If the conditioning is a fridge, there won't be light coming out of it, it will be the cooling effect. If the conditioning is the fan, the expression will be creating a magnetic field and thereafter the movement of the blades of the fan. If the conditioning is the heater, it will be the heat, not light. In the same manner, the absolute conscious existence, if the conditioning is stone, the expression is only mere existence. If the conditioning is plant kingdom, it is existence plus life. If it is animal kingdom, it is existence, life plus mind. And if it is human beings, then in addition to that, the happiness, the bliss. If this point becomes clear, then we will come to know that mind is just an appearance which comes and goes. When we switch off and switch on the lights, is it the same light? It cannot be, because it began and it concluded. Then second time the light came, again we switch off, it goes away. The third time, so what happens? There is a continuity, appearance, but there is no continuity. Exactly the same way. How many bodies we have changed so far? Right from childhood, every 7 years, all the cells of the bodies are completely, fully replaced. Therefore, the body in which we were expressing as a child, it is not the same body. The body has completely changed. Yet our understanding is, I am in the same body. No, we are not. But there is one principle. which has not changed because of the changes in the body. See, now who can think in this line? Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha, the one who has lived his relative world and withdrawn from the relative world, not out of frustration, but out of wisdom. When withdrawal is out of frustration, it is called as depression. When withdrawal is out of wisdom, it is called as dispassion. See, friends, therefore many a times we imagine that spiritual life means what, those who are unfit for everything, they are fit for spirituality, like Swamiji. See, therefore, Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha, we have to know the rules of the game of relative world. And what are these rules? The rules are, play your role perfectly well and get out of the stage. We all have to do this. And we all have to play many roles. Sometimes we are husband, sometimes we are wife, sometimes we are son, sometimes we are daughter, sometimes we are in-law, mother-in-law, sometimes daughter-in-law. Play all the roles cheerfully and happily, but don't hold on to any particular role all the time. Then only we can sit for meditation and discover what is the meaning of the truth. But what normally happens? We sit for meditation as the daughter-in-law. When the daughter-in-law sits for meditation, mother-in-law comes with a belna in the hand. Meditation करती है, रोटी बना. See, friends. Or the husband sits for meditation. The wife will come, meditation, I know what you are, meditation. See, in this manner, unless we are able to drop this somebody, we are not qualified to sit on the seat of meditation. Sabda Brahmani Nishnata. This one point if you catch, remain Mr. Nobody for a longer period of time in your life. We are constantly somebody. And when we remain nobody, as in deep sleep, we are all happy. Yet we don't want to unload the load of somebody. See, you must have seen, these military people, when they retire, after retirement, they don't continue to be human beings. They continue to be ex-brigadier, retired colonel, retired general. See, they don't want to unload that load. See, X means unknown. So, ex-prime minister, ex-chief minister, unknown, is gone. Therefore, friends, Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha means unless we lead our relative world in a proper manner, we will never be able to be at peace with ourselves. Then Param Brahma Adhigacchati. Then we are able to cognize what is said by the scriptures. See? And once you get, it is a kind of a click. Now those of you who know swimming or riding a bicycle, can you tell exactly what you have done or achieved to establish a perfect balance on a bicycle? Can it be told in words? You cannot. But it happens. See? And because this balance happens without the agency of the body, without the agency of the mind, without the agency of the sense organs or organs of action. And therefore, once this is learned or experienced, it is never lost. See, once somewhere in Lonavala, there was a children's camp many years before. And there was some bicycle children who were playing. So one child, Swamiji, do you ride bicycle? I said, I never done, but let me try. You teach me how to. So they were all excited. We are going to teach Swamiji how to ride a bicycle. And then I did all the drama. And when they were holding, I was falling purposefully. No, Swamiji, you have to balance. Look in the front, don't look here and there. All the standard instructions. And then when I started going fast and they were left behind, oh, you know. I said, no, you taught me. No, it is not possible, you know. I said, look here, I knew it many years before. I thought I must have forgotten. Then the child told me, Swamiji, you don't know even this much. Once you learn riding a bicycle, you never forget. How true it is. Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha Param Brahma Adhigacchati. Therefore, to recognize our essential self, we have to be available to it. See, now this example which I gave you yesterday, what spiritual practice will you do? Like our mobile phone expresses the sound from inside the phone, and the sound waves are outside the phone. In the same manner, we are in the consciousness. The manifestation of the consciousness is from inside. That does not mean consciousness is in us, but we are in consciousness. Now what spiritual practice will you do? See, the backdrop is white. Yes, let us do spiritual practice, meditation. It is not red, it is not black, it is not green. Why worry? When it is white, over. See, friends, but we are all bitten by the virus of doing something. And therefore, we do meditation. Same thing happens with the mantra. Mantra has two aspects. One is Kriya aspect, second is knowledge aspect. When we are too much doing oriented in our life, then meditation we do, puja we do, and love also we do. So when we do the love, we fall in love. See, the mother does not do love to the child. The love for the child, for the mother happens. It is not done. See, friends. Therefore, when we come to discover that it is only discovery, the truth is covered by wrong notions. Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha makes us capable of removing the covering of wrong notions. And how is the covering? This also must be clear. In Ishavasya it comes. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham tattvam pushanna pavrunu satya dharmaya drishtaye. Hiranmayena patrena, by the glitter of the golden lead, O Lord, the truth is hidden, kindly remove that. Now what is that golden lead? It is something like the ocean is covered by the waves and the water is covered by the ocean. See, these are the things to be clearly known. Then only we really mean spiritual practice. Otherwise we become only action oriented. See, go deeper and deeper. All these things come from within. They are not outside anywhere in the books. Like when we take the Lord's name, Form is outside, name is with us. See, on the Ganges river, we say, oh, ye Ganga Nadi hai. Is anywhere written name on the river? Ganga, bold. Where is that name Ganga? It is in our heart, in our mind. See, forms are other than us, names are with us. So name is a knowledge, it is not an action. But we keep on doing action. Ram, 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 Ram. Eat the head of that poor Rama. And when we become knowledge oriented, then we come to discover this Rama is none other than our essential being. Because where is this Rama appearing? In the mind. What is the mind? Expression of the consciousness. Therefore, what is Rama is nothing but the consciousness. In this manner, Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha Param Brahma Adhigacchati. Adhigacchati, we have to only recognize. We don't have to do anything. And we can recognize only if we are absolutely at peace with ourselves and at peace with the whole world. See, the other day somebody sent me one email and there was a picture, photograph of coffee beans. And the person who sent me wrote, there is one human face in these beads, coffee beads, seeds, and if you can find out where it is something great. And then the world record is 5 seconds, somebody could find out. So I wrote back, I found out in 1 second. This is the thing. She says, Swamiji, how could you do it so fast? It took for me 1 month. Every day I used to open my email and after 1 month I found out. How did you find out in 1 second? I said, look here. When you are nothing to do, nowhere to go. When you are in utter 100% present, you don't function on cause and effect platform. You function on intuitive experience. The great Rishi Charak, after whom the Ayurveda is, or Shushrut, all of them, they did not take the tree and do the experiment on guinea pigs and then say, this is good for that. In their lifetime, the number of plants and the diseases they have brought together is not 1 or 2, but millions. How did they do that? They will touch the plant and know this is good for diabetes. They will take the leaf and they will know this is good for blood pressure. With that intuitive knowledge, the whole Ayurvedic knowledge has come out. It is not to the mechanical experimentation of the modern science. See, friends. Similarly, the movement of the stars and planets, have they gone there outside standing? Let us see, put the, stopwatch. Shani, shuru ho ja. Kitna? 40 seconds. It is all intuitive knowledge. So unless we come to this intuitive understanding, technically it is called as Rutambhara Prajna. Rutam means that reality which is explained or thought of or talked of in the Upanishad. Bhara, the one which can comprehend this absolute reality. Unless that kind of intellect is discovered, we will never be able to discover the truth. This is what in the language of devotion, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam ye namam upayanti te. Those who are totally surrendered to me, Madgata pranaha mad chinta, they are only time thinking about me, working for me, living for me. To such devotees, I give them the required faculty, dadami buddhi yogam tam. I give them the required faculty because of which they can recognize me. Today we have a faculty to function in the world. How to cheat others, how to do jugaad. See? Now with that kind of intellect, if we enter on the spiritual path, we will never be successful. That is what that Upanishad says, Shabda Brahmane Nishnataha. Unless our relative life is lived perfectly and we get out of this relative world with understanding, get out with graceful exit. Not we are kicked out of the world. No. Graceful exit alone makes us qualified. Param Brahma Adhigacchati. Now further, Grantamabhyasya Medhavi Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha Palalami Vadhanyati Tyajet Grantham Asheshataha. Like we cultivate the paddy, harvest it and bring, and then the pounding is done. And after the pounding is done, the husk is removed and thrown, and the grains are contained. In the same manner, scriptures are like the paddy. Pound them, study them, understand them, take out the gist of the scriptures, your own essential self, thereafter throw the books away. Don't hold on to the books throughout life. See? Therefore, Grantham Abhyasya Medhavis Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha. So when we study, are we studying for erudition and scholarship? Or Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha? Or we are studying for recognition of one's essential nature? What is the purpose of study? See? Like you go to Varanasi in BHU, they have got all kinds of departments, and then there are doctorates offered. So what is the technique of offering doctorate? The guide is Dr. Google. And you go to the Google, cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste, print, PhD thesis ready. Bibliography, okay. How many? 25 bibliography on this topic. PhD done. And thereafter, Dr. Gadbadananda. Friends, Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha. See, whatever knowledge we gather, are we practicing it in our life to make it as our experience? Or we are gathering this knowledge for the social gatherings? I never knew it. One day I came to know in one of the Lions Club meeting. So when I asked that person who introduced me, I said, hey, you know so many sher, shairi and all.